right now walking around in the storm, just a beautiful thunderstorm going on, and just been thinking about that thing of purpose. And we all need purpose, we all thrive on purpose, and to live a purpose-driven life is so great and so imperative. It gives our lives meaning, and every one of us crave and thrive for meaning. We all do, and it's a great question to ask, what is my purpose? I think there's a partner to that, a question that needs to go in parallel with that, is not just what is my purpose, but am I purposed? And I think purpose and our strive and our search for purpose has so much to do with our sense of doing and what we feel we need to do or become, where I think when we consider purposed, it frames it up differently and it gives us a sense of our being. And different frames of, different religions and your different frames of reference will cause you to consider the idea of being purposed very differently. For me, as a young boy, in pursuit of God, going to different churches, searching for God, not finding God, one night lying under the stars, I felt this brooding, noisy silence, this kind of almost like love hovering over me. And it was there that I felt that I was purposed, that there was something more, and that I was part of something bigger and part of something greater. And that was a special thing for me. And the next morning I woke up and a friend of mine, David, said to me, he said, "Greg, you called, and you being called, and you being wooed." And that's a wonderful thing. I think any good romance has a sense of wooing in it. And I think every day we're being wooed. We're being wooed by the sound of the rain hitting the leaves, by trees, by flowers, by the looks in our partner's eyes, by our children, by flowers, by everything. There's even a scripture in the Hebrew text where it says, day after day and night after night, creation pours forth speech. It's like it's always communicating, and it's always calling, and it's always reaching out to us. And we just sometimes aren't listening, and we sometimes don't get it. And for years I thought that I was called, but some people weren't. And what if I was called, and what if I wasn't called? And I think what that does is it kind of turns God into a serial killer. And God being a serial killer is not my vibe. I'm off that whole vibe completely. And I think He's too kind, and there's too much love going on for Him to be that person. And I think it's more like He's not choosing favorites for a team, but every one of us are called, every one of us are purposed, every one of us. And your life is special. You are precious, you are irreplaceable, I'm irreplaceable. And I think that gives us our sense of being. And for me, I think that's where our sense of purpose grows out of. There's a sense of being. Right now, I'm enjoying my sense of being, my new life, my new relationships, my new friendships, my new job. There's just so much newness. And it's a great thing, and I'm getting to enjoy that. And there's a new sense of purpose, and it doesn't mean previous purposes were wrong or bad or to be let go of. It's never chicken or fish, it's always both. It's always both and my question to you and my question to me daily is, do you realize you're purposed? And do you realize you're valuable and you're loved? You're deeply, deeply loved.